Within the last hour, I just chaired a meeting of senior executives of the police department. It is regarding the deployment of precinct level and PSA level anti-crime units. These are the plainclothes units that operate our traditional anti-crime. Effective immediately, we will be transitioning those units, roughly 600 people citywide, into a variety of assignments, including Detective Bureau, neighborhood policing, and other assignments. Why? This is 21st century policing. Intelligence, data, shot spotter, video, DNA, and building prosecutable cases. It continues to be building these cases on a small number of people that unfortunately still terrorize parts of this city. However, the key difference, we must do it in a manner that builds trust between the officers and the community they serve. I started speaking about a number of reforms that have just recently been passed. Make no mistake, this is a seismic shift in the culture of how the NYPD polices this great city. It will be felt immediately throughout the 5 district attorneys' offices. It will be felt immediately in the communities that we protect.
Let me bring in retired LAPD Police Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey. And so first, explain to those of us, when we hear anti-crime team, right, these men and women who will now be reassigned, what exactly do they do? And do you think that this is a good decision on behalf of NYPD?
So this is a unit much like what we have here in Los Angeles within our Metropolitan Division. These are the officers who are sometime in uniform or plain clothes, and they don't respond to radio calls for service. They do proactive pretext stops in the hopes of finding someone who may have a gun or have drugs. I call them elephant hunters, the big game hunters, the Billy Bad A, right? These are the ones who kick butt and take names, and they jump out of cars anonymously in their plain clothes uniform, and they rough people up, and sometimes they get the wrong person and then they just drive off. My bad. Not even an apology, not even a business card. And so while this is a great first step, let's not get all beside ourselves here, because this is the same Dermot Shea who said when he took office that, you know, the citizens of New York are going to respect his officers. I hear folks talking about doing everything, Brooke, except for that 4-letter word, accountability. Why won't they just hold officers who misbehave accountable? Because I promise you, as a patrol officer and a patrol supervisor for 20 years, when officers who are in patrol see their peers sitting in a courtroom addressing murder charges, they'll conduct themselves differently. We can't even in the midst of protests stop officers from killing folks. So you had 57 officers from the ERT on the Buffalo Police Department step down. Why? Because they were offended that 2 of their officers were fired and charged for shoving a 75-year-old man down and cracking his head open. So until you change that mindset, we're going to continue to have this problem. And so thank you, Mr. Shea, for moving the 600 Billy Bad Butts. But how about we hold officers accountable when we see them commit misconduct?